Hey, what's up, YouTubers? Grant F here again with another video review for you guys. Well, the fall season is upon us. It is, close to Halloween, my favorite time of the year, minus Christmas. And I just love this time of year. I love it when all the scary films, scary horror films are on TV that I love. Everyone's getting ready to buy their costumes. Everyone is, playing scary pranks on each other, and just everyone is just in this like mischievous, just awesome, supernatural, scary mood. And like I just love it because horror is definitely my favorite genre. I've loved horror ever since I was a kid. And yeah, so I thought today I would do a horror classic for you guys. Now, believe it or not, I actually had not seen this movie until about a couple weeks ago, all the way through. I'd seen it on TV when I was a kid. It gave me many nightmares, just certain scenes of it, and it's based off a beloved Stephen King novel. Seems like I'm kind of on like a Stephen King roll here with Carrie last week and now this film, but I think you guys probably know what I'm talking about from the title of the video. This is indeed Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, starring Jack Nicholson and Shelley Duvall. This is, of course, based off the beloved Stephen King novel of the same name. Now, from what I understand, and like just watching some of the featurettes about this, and like hearing people talk about this film over time, I understand that Stanley Kubrick and Stephen King actually had a big feud over this film because the film that Stanley Kubrick made did not at all reflect, I guess, Stephen King's vision of what he thought the film should be like, and he really hated it over the years. And there's even a movie, a documentary called Room 237 that kind of takes a stab at Stephen King because there's an opening scene where in the film when the family is driving to the Overlook Hotel, and it's got this real wide helicopter shot of the car driving through the mountains. The car is yellow, but in the book, in Stephen King's book, the car was red. It was described as a red car. And later on in the film, I'm sorry, the guy's name is Scatman Crothers. Danny's friend that has the shining ability like him. When he finds out that something is wrong, he drives to the Overlook Hotel. He flies and then drives to the Overlook Hotel, and he drives past a really horrific semi truck accident on the highway, and the exact same model of the car that the family drives, and this one is red, and it's pancaked like under a semi truck. And a lot of people in the documentary Room 237 have said that that was kind of Stanley Kubrick's, fuck you to Stephen King. But all beef aside, all controversy aside, this is a great film, guys. What can you say about Stanley Kubrick that hasn't already been said? I mean, the guy's one of the greatest filmmakers of our time. He's right up there with Steven, Spielberg, who him and Spielberg were actually really good friends. I mean, Martin Scorsese, Clint Eastwood. I mean, he is just one of the greats of filmmaking, for sure. This film it's shot like so well. Like there's just so many iconic scenes, like when Danny is, going down the hallway on his big wheel, and the sound whenever he's going over the wood and the carpet, it's like it's just that scene, so many just really spooky, creepy imagery in this film. The two twins, the twin girls in the hallway, come play with us, or the rotting old lady. I mean, it's just such a really memorable, disturbing experience in terms of a horror film. To get into the plot of this film, guys, it strays quite a bit of ways from the original source material, Stephen King's The Shining. But the basic plot of this film is Jack Torrance, played by Jack Nicholson, is a writer that takes up a caretaking job at this hotel in Colorado called the Overlook Hotel. And at the beginning of the film, the people that are going to offer this job to Jack are telling him that the hotel has a history, and that one of the previous caretakers went crazy, got cabin fever, and murdered his wife and daughters. And Jack Nicholson just kind of shrugs it off as, "Oh, my wife loves horror films and horror novels. She'll get a kick out of it." Well, we come to find out that Jack Nicholson actually has a really rough past with his family. He's a recovering alcoholic, and one night Shelley Duvall describes a situation where about a year or so ago, uh, Jack came home from a heavy night of drinking, and he got mad at Danny because Danny had some of his manuscripts scattered on the floor, and he actually dislocated Danny's shoulder because he grabbed him by the arm, and he vowed never again to drink a drop. Quit cold turkey, and so the family definitely has a rough history from that, and they arrive at the hotel, and right away, I mean, even really before Jack's character comes to the hotel, you can tell there's something off about him. Something's not right. He acts very strange and aloof, and is very distant from his wife. And you really get the first glimpse of this descent into madness whenever Shelley Duvall interrupts him while he's working, while he's typing, and he just loses it, and starts cussing her out, screaming at her, and basically ends the conversation by telling her to get the fuck out of here. I mean, you're just kind of like, man, like what is wrong with this guy? Like, is he going through a relapse? Is he really wanting a drink, or like what's his deal? Well, while this is going on, Jack's son, Danny, as it turns out, he has a psychic ability called the Shining. That Scatman Crothers, he's one of the cooks from the hotel, and he's kind of giving them the tour of the hotel at the beginning of the film. And, he talks to Danny in his mind, and Danny hears him, and it shows that scene in the film really well. I thought that was pretty cool how, they spoke without saying anything. They could hear each other, through telepathy. And he basically describes it as the Shining. It's this ability that has been passed down to him, and it's like he can see and hear things before they happen. He can almost foresee the future, and he's really close to other people that have this ability, as Danny and Scatman Crothers' character indeed are close, because they both have this psychic bond, because they can both see the Shining. And Danny goes to room 237, which he was liberally told not to go to. Discovers discovers the history of the hotel, the previous caretaker, and how he murdered his two daughters and his wife. And through all that, it's just a descent into madness and macabre and just crazy, imagery and just really disturbing stuff. It's a great film, guys. It's one of the it's upheld as one of the greatest horror films ever made, right up there with The Exorcist and Jaws. It's very effective. It's very psychological. It definitely has a lot to say about like going mad and about like really just losing yourself and losing your sanity. And you feel very isolated in this movie. You feel very cut off from the rest of the world, because Jack Torrance and his family are in this cabin in the middle of winter, and there's anywhere else around. They have to communicate with people through radio because the phone lines go down due to a really bad winter storm. And it definitely, even though the place is so huge and so large and empty and vacant with no other people there but the family themselves, it almost feels claustrophobic because they have nowhere else to go. I mean, you think about movies like Gravity, where they're in space and they have to get back, and Jaws, they're on the water and there's absolutely nowhere else they could go. Kind of gives that feeling, but in a different kind of way. There's a lot of really weird, I don't know if it's like metaphors or symbolisms, but stuff involving sadomasochism and just all kinds of weird imagery. Stanley Kubrick was really known for his skill at chess, and I think this movie is almost like a puzzle. It's just like an onion that has layers that you peel back, and you can mix and interconnect the pieces, And I mean, I could go on all day, all night talking about this film, but you know, I'm not going to because I don't want to bore you guys to death. But yeah, you guys should definitely check out this movie. I picked this up on Blu-ray for like, you know, it's an older film, but it looks great. The picture quality is really good, and it's got some really cool special features on here with some really good commentary from Stanley Kubrick that I found really enlightening. So yeah, you guys check out The Shining. You know, it's that time of year. It's Halloween. I definitely would recommend this film if you're in the good, you know, Halloween spirit. You guys, please like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more reviews. And yeah, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.